Hello, hi. Good morning. Check in for the day. It's funny because I did a check in like late, not late, afternoon, or late afternoon, we'll call it, yesterday, and then now this morning, checking in already. There's a lot happened already. Um, Last night, as I was going to bed, or when I went to bed, I was really restless. I was trying to go to bed, trying to go to sleep, and yeah, I was just hot. And then I had to get up, and my legs were restless, and I just couldn't get to sleep. I mean, I was really tired, but I couldn't, yeah, get to sleep. And then finally got to sleep, slept really soundly till energy woke me up again. Um, Energy woke me up. And so woke me up at like, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock, 5:15 maybe. And it was really full on. And it's interesting, or the last couple of days, it's been really interesting because similar things happened. I've, yeah, been woken up by this really, really strong, full on energy. And, and then just started thinking about something and been really focused on that something. So the first day was hockey, and just, I don't know, just thinking about hockey. This morning was thinking about my son doing soccer, as in my youngest doing soccer, because on Tuesdays my daughter has choir after school, and I realized there's soccer on at the same time. So my son, my youngest, could be doing soccer. And so I was just thinking about soccer, like him doing all the things related to doing soccer. And maybe he can do a trial, and then we might not have to pay for it for a week. And yeah, so it was like just all that going around in my head. And then at 6, I thought I heard someone call me, and so I went out, and my son was, my youngest was, he's the one who's more often than not likely to call me, was asleep, but sort of had the doona a little bit off, so I just put it over him, but he reckons he called me, I don't know. And then my son's door was sort of partially closed, and my eldest was partially closed, and I was like, oh, I just don't feel like I don't feel like he called me. And so then I went back to bed, and the full on energy started again. And I was like, oh, I'll just lie here. But went back to sleep. Went back to sleep. And had this dream about, and I haven't really remembered my dreams for a bit. Well, no, I have one day there, but this was like remembering, what am I talking about? It was an interesting dream because I was with my mum and dad. Like they didn't look like my normal mum and dad, but in the dream they were my mum and dad. You know what I mean? And I was with my mum and dad. I was with my mum and dad, and I don't know if we were on a plane or something, but we were, or like traveling from one place to another. And the first time that the dream went through, I was... Sorry, I'm just thinking lots of things at the same time. That's why I'm not. And so the first time that the dream went through, for some reason, I cannot remember the reason, but we decided that we would tell my dad that I died. And, but instead, on the plane, so the plane would take 7 hours to get from wherever we were to home, or to wherever it was we were going to. And we knew that everyone would just sleep, as in my dad and my mum would just sleep during that time. And so I'd just like go and sleep underneath my mum's covers. And then as soon as so my dad didn't know that I was actually alive. And then when we got to the destination, I'd quickly like slip out so he didn't see. And then I don't know what I'm doing after that. Like, I don't know. It made sense in the dream, right? Made sense. And so that was what happened the first time the dream went through. And then the second time, which happens a lot. It happened like the dream reoccurring or going through again for a second time happens a lot. A lot. I'd say even more than a reoccurring thing. It happens a lot. And so the second time the dream went through, we went to do that again. Like the same thing went to play out, except for some reason I couldn't sleep in my mum's bed, and I kind of went to sleep on the couch where my dad was. But then he realized, sorry, there's a bit of fluff on the phone, but then he realized that I was there and was really upset and angry that we'd lied to him. And sort of not shunned me, but like was like, fuck off. And so I went out to this other place. I don't know whether it was like outside or somewhere. Again, it made sense in the dream. And there were animals. Again, animals seems to be a sort of a reoccurring thing for me recently. And so there were these animals on the ground outside, and I don't know, like squirrels and things, like different animals. And they were, I don't know, kind of playing around, but I was able to use energy from my hand, to create a boundary around, like an invisible boundary around the animal, so it just kind of stayed within a boundary, and it just kind of stayed there. And so the squirrels and things were not trying to get out, like it wasn't hurting them or anything, but they were sort of testing the boundaries, and I was like, and then, but it was like I could see the lines of the boundaries around the animals, but they were invisible at the same time. And then suddenly the lines sort of joined up and created the word change. And then there was music, like it was a TV show, like it was the first episode of a TV show, and it said change, like it was like change. And then I woke up, and then my husband got up, and I was like, okay, so that was an interesting dream. And so wrote it down. And normally, like a written dream is like that much, maybe. This was like the whole full page written of this dream, and I still feel like I need to write more. And so it was interesting. Like I felt like there was a lot of different things there. A lot of different things. a lot of different interesting things. Yeah, a lot of different interesting things. And then kind of got up to start the day. I wonder if this person, there's a car here that's, oh no, that guy mustn't be. There's a car over here and the boot is just open. And that's it. Yeah, so then it's like get up, start the day, and I was all a bit sort of like focused on the dream and things, and sort of not trying to figure out, but because I was just kind of focused on the dream, the bits and pieces were kind of coming to me relating to it. Oh my goodness, people in front, people behind, people just all over the shop. Lucky I don't park here very often. And then, interestingly, I saw one of the parents from the deaf facility, and this morning, I don't like, we're in a similar area, and yet I don't actually see her very often. But saw her this morning and was chatting to her about her little man, and so her little man has hearing aids on both sides, and has also started ADHD medication, and he's really struggling, and she's really struggling because he's really struggling. So he's going backwards. He's not really wanting to say hello to anyone and not really engage with people, and is struggling. And so I had this big conversation with her, and because my niece also has ADHD, although not medicated, but is doing not medicated and is doing exceptionally well. Is a year older than this little guy. Excuse me. And I can't believe these people have left their boot open. I wonder if they've caught the train. Because, people, anyway, not my problem, right? It's like a brand spanking new four-wheel drive Audi, not Aldi. Anyway, interesting. I found myself just saying some really interesting stuff. Like, stuff that seemed to be really helpful for the mum, as in seeing things from his perspective, seeing things as in from the child's perspective. And when you're in it and you just seeing your kid and you just like struggling, you just want to do everything you can to help. You just want to bring them in and go, it's okay, I will do everything to help you. And sometimes it's hard to see take a step back and really see. And something interestingly, obviously, that I was contemplating this morning is that we as people, because she was saying to me, I need to, because I was saying I've been kind of witnessing some people on social media talking about their experience with having ADHD and really struggling with it, and but also their experience of being on the medication and how that can feel really discombobulating. And so this mum was like, "Oh, I should do more scrolling, or I should." I'm talking to all of the professionals around us, and I'm doing all the things, and I'm like, "Yeah, but this, you know." And I said that is my most major thing that I've learned from having a deaf child is trusting this, trusting this, because this knows more than what those other people, professionals, know. Intuition is something that is overlooked, that is not tapped into often. And we're so reliant on the world around us to tell us what to do. Because I've never experienced ADHD myself. I've never experienced taking the medication. I've never experienced, this is the first time that I'm even coming in contact with ADHD. For example, in our case, it was deafness. I know, or like mums, first time mums. I've never done it before. Like all the things, ADHD, deafness, first time mum. We go, I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to defer to the professionals. My thinking was, I need to get the people around me who I feel most confident and comfortable with, my team, so that I can, when something arises, I can defer to them. And that worked really well for me for however many years. And then the last couple of years, Leah has been more able to talk to me about what she's feeling and what she wants and what she needs. And I've been able to receive that. And I've also been able to sit in my intuition and also intuit how I need to help and how, what I need to do, what experiences I need to provide for her to support her, to give her choice so that she can make informed decisions for herself. And it's difficult when they're little kids. It's really difficult. It's difficult when you're a first-time mum and your baby is crying and you're like, I've never done this before. I remember with my first child, I remember he was crying. It was night. He was crying and he'd been crying for a while and I couldn't get him to sleep. I couldn't settle him. And so I'm hurriedly reading all the books that I had to try and figure out what to do. And my third child, I popped him in his little bassinet thing, maybe the night we got home from hospital. I think I tried a couple times. And he was crying and I was like, nope, not doing that. And then so I slept. I was like, okay. Well, it wasn't a conscious thing. It was a flow. You can just sleep with me. I'll sleep on the couch. It'll just be easier for everyone. And it was. It was easier for everyone. For a year and a half, I slept on the couch. It worked for us. It was the easiest thing for us. And it worked. It worked for us. I could sleep. My little man could sleep. I'd just sort of, in the night, just pop up. Like if he'd sort of, jiggle around, he wouldn't cry. He'd just sort of jiggle around. And I'd go, okay, yep, hop up, chuck him on my boob. Finish, I'd either fall asleep or he'd finish and we'd go back to sleep. And I would lie there all night with him. My husband my daughter would sleep in the bed with my husband because she had night terrors and things, and so she felt safe because she was sleeping with my husband. She was sleeping with daddy, and it worked. It worked so well for our family. And then things just flowed from there. Like, we sold that house and moved into our what we referred to as our in-between house. And we had, because it was a really old house, the rooms were huge. And so our bedroom could fit a king-size bed and a single bed. And so our son, littlest, slept. We were able to put the beds next to each other. And so that was the natural progression, was he was able to sleep next to us in the night. I could put my hand out and he was okay. And then the next natural progression from there, when we moved to our next house, well, the house that we're in now, is he now sleeps in the same room as his sister. Excuse me. And he might wake up once a night, sometimes more maybe. But I'm able just to walk in, hey, it's okay, here's the doona. Or, Mum, I'm feeling scared. It's okay, roll over and face the wall and go back to sleep. It just works. It just flowed. It just flowed. And even going to school for him just flowed. I mean, it was a bit of a struggle at times, but I did my drawing. Like, I did my drawing with him. And that really helped. That really helped his flow. And now he jumps up, says goodbye, and that's it. He's done. But because I've never done it before, because I've never mothered before, I have no clue. And it's bullshit. Because it's there. Because in some past life, you have been a mother. Because as soon as your child is conceived, mother's intuition is there. How many times have you heard of a mum saying, I knew there was something wrong with my pregnancy? Or I just felt in my waters that something wasn't right. Even though the doctors were saying to me that it's fine, and like, even that, I feel something's not right. I go and see a professional. They go, no, she'll be right, mate. For example. And then it turns out you were right. And if you'd pushed it, if you'd trusted, if you'd continued with it, they would have found the something. But because we go, oh, well, they're a professional. They know what they're talking about. So this mum this morning, I need to outside of myself. And I was like, you got outside, mate. Like, outside is, you got a good team around you. Just trust this. Trust this. Because this will lead you. This will lead you. This will lead you. And the same with mums. You know, first-time mums, first-time anythings, really. Trust this. Trust intuition. See, I feel like there's that change thing really got me this morning. The change, like seeing that word change in my dream. Yeah. Tonight's the full moon. It's interesting because I always feel like the night before is the full moon. Like, for me, there's a lot of energy the night before, and then, as I said, the days leading up to the full moon, but then the actual full moon, there's not much. But who knows? because I feel like everything has changed. I feel like everything has changed. Yeah, so it felt really potent to be talking to my friend this morning about the things. And yeah, helping her to see a different perspective, like his perspective, which, yeah, as I said, is sometimes really difficult to see. I feel like there's a lot in relation to my dream, and so I may even just go and write, which is so rare for me, as in write my reflections on it. Not sure if I'll connect with Chatty on it. We'll see how we go. Yeah, change. It felt like a show just starting, like the beginning of a TV show. And the first, and like that was the thing that I was aware of when I first woke up. It was like that just felt like a TV show, as in that section. Seeing the word change, like it moving into the word change. Um, it felt like a TV show, and it felt like it just starting. So yeah, that's me today. We shall see. See what happens next.